Hello, people out there. You see me? Hear me? Let's see. Hello. Can you hear me okay? All right. Thank you. I was just over trying to see if there was any questions that anybody submitted. So I'm going to call her up a little higher. Auburn, California. Good to have you here. I decided it was better for me to start a little earlier so I can get through the whole process of getting this thing started. I want to put in a Facebook. So I can take some notes here. St. George hot? I bet you it is. Well, kind of muggy. Aren't you getting some rain over there? It was a little humid here too today. But I think I took the dog for a walk around 11:30 today. I had a little extra time. Meeting got done early. It was about 78, I guess, but it was pretty muggy here too, but I'm sure not as bad as St. George there. Hello from Australia. Welcome. Caldwell, Idaho. Nice to have you. We'll wait a couple of minutes here. Let's see. Maybe I can talk just a minute while we're getting on here about some new stuff that we've recently released. It's like in the last month or so. You're probably already aware of it, but let me see if I can find it here. I wrote down a list so that I can talk about it in a presentation I'm doing for FGS conference. There we go. Well, I'll be in trouble if I can't find this, especially the day that when I'm supposed to present. Okay. How's everybody doing? Come on here. Where are you? All right, can't find it. Oh, well. Let's see if I have it here somewhere. Alrighty, well, let's get started here. Let me go I want to get a different browser up here for a second. And let me see here. All right, so here's some things that we recently, we put on so far this month, I guess I would say. We added the show hide of my changes that went out in August the 12th. So I just want to make sure you knew that in the lists, when we shipped it, the newer version didn't have the ability for you to hide your own personal changes. So now you can. We changed in memories the like to bookmark because it really, the like doesn't like add up likes and show it more often. So it wasn't like social media. So they changed it to bookmark. Private memories was released in memories. So in private memories, you can upload a memory into your gallery. You can attach it to people and you mark it as private. And if you've already attached it and everything and you mark it private, they're still attached, but you're the only person that sees that memory. We still need to work through how we're going to deal with getting that memory to become public eventually, because we don't want it to be private forever. So that would be things like, maybe the person is deceased that submitted the memory, or some number of years that it can stay private, because we don't want those to be, hidden forever. So we want it to be able to come out about that particular memory. We have a new overview page for Tree Web. We're doing that in hopes that we can help train people what the tree is about and how it works. I don't know. I haven't seen the latest data on how many people have seen it. It's only been out for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, week and a half. And so we have to see if anybody's going and looking at it. A lot of people in our testing, they would come to the site and if they're not members of the church, they're a little more cautious in giving data like that to us. So they tend to go around and click on different menu options. And oftentimes they'll go read overview pages for different menu options. And we're hoping that will help them feel a little more comfortable about how we deal with their living and the deceased data. Private Memories is supposed to come out on mobile here in this end of this week or first part of next week. So you'll be able to set your memories as private then. We now put out the 90-day new icon. Hope that is effective for you. And we also changed the way you reserve, so you could choose to reserve the 90-day stuff or the 2-year stuff if there's mixed on that particular person. And just so you know, if it's a 90-day reservation, has a little clock on it, you can't share that with a temple because it's already been shared with the temple. That's where we get our 90-day stuff, is from things shared with the temple. And then, so we made that change recently. So that's sort of the latest stuff that we've done. Thanks, Warren, for the new green temples for the 90 days. Larry asks, when using the search records option to search records in FamilySearch, can the spouse and parents fields be automatically populated when those persons are known as in ancestry searches. Well, if you go to a person page and you on the right, there's a set of places you can go and click that place, and it'll take you to that place with that search criteria. Same thing happens with FamilySearch. So you can go to that person page, you can click FamilySearch on that list, and I believe it fills in the parents. It does the parents, spouse, things like that. So try that. It's been a little bit since I've done it. Let me just go look here real quick and see what it does. Get one of my ancestors, but I think that will do what you want with just one click, and it should populate that. Let me just verify that. So I'll go to some place in my tree. And my mom or something here. And then I'll push the family search button on the search records part on the right-hand side of the page. And it adds in her spouse and her parents in the search. So that's for me, and I think that's the easiest way to do. It fills in all the fields on the left with birth dates and year ranges. Then you can go in and use the filters, or you can use edit. You can modify or remove the different facets so you can change the data. So I think that's the easiest way to do that. So you previewed the new person page. Where did you preview this new person page, Lynn? Let me know. So Carl, is private memories intended to allow us to upload our own photos and documents for future sharing with family after we are deceased, or for photos of living family? It doesn't matter either way. The real intent of the private memories is just people want to write more special memories about particularly their living children or grandchildren about them, or something personal, very personal to them they want to write, but don't necessarily want to share it with the general populace. And so they want to keep that quiet for a while, or they want to, what we believe that they also want to do is be able to share it with just family members. So this is sort of setting up some potential new features for us to say, well, you can make a memory private, but then we'll also find a way for you to share with selected set of people, for instance, because there may be some people in your family you're willing to share that special experience with, but you don't want general population to know about it. But of course, we need to eventually allow that memory to come out, at some point in time in the future. So you said, Lynn, I did it as a test through FamilySearch, had to have my camera and microphone on and play on the beta site. Oh, well, let's go see what the beta site has on it. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to go look at the beta site for a while. Let me just sign in real quick and go look at one of them. All right, I'm going to go to a person page. Let's see what that looks like. Doesn't look much different to me. So maybe you can help us understand what you were seeing on the details page, on the person page. Let's see. Yeah, I'd like to see what this new person pages are. You say they're amazing, but I'm not sure what you're looking at. So anyway, if you, I mean, we are looking at some changes there, but I didn't think any of that had been built or anything. Okay. So let me go to a question that was asked. This is from Lee. It says, the Recents tab in the FamilySearch app only points to the data on your device rather than to your activity on FamilySearch online. Could that feature and other items such as a new image be called from the web rather than from our local devices? i.e. a changed value check for records in the view call from the device. Yeah. First off, when you log in, when you have Family Tree app, so he's talking about Family Tree app, and he is looking at recents. Those should be populated when you first bring up the system, launch the app. It should go check and pull down any new data. And the way, and it said, could a feature or other items such as new image be called from the web rather than from out our local devices? Well, you can actually go to a person. Let me see here. I can go bring up my Family Tree app. You can actually go to a person page on Family Tree. Let me just go find one here. Let's say my great-grandfather. Let's see. Recents should be identical to what you have up on the site. You go to a person page. So let me show you this. Let me get over so I feel like I'm showing you. So you can go to a recents, a person's page on the app. You can click up in iOS. If you can see that, I don't know if you can see it because it's kind of bright with this thing going. Let me turn that thing off for a minute. There you go. So I don't know if that made it any better. Anyway, you can go to the person page, click on the menu at the top. There's 3 dots. And on that menu, let me see here. There's a more. And you can click. Oh, you can't even see that thing. That's terrible. You can click on the menu up at the top right-hand corner on iOS. It's in a different place for Android. You will get a menu item, and you probably have to click more. And on there, it has a refresh person button. And if you hit that, it will actually go out to Family Tree, look at all the data, and bring whatever's missing down. So you could do that on a person-by-person basis. And the rest of the pedigree is supposed to synchronize when you open the app. It's supposed to go off and look and get additional data. So you need to tell me a little bit more about what is it that's not showing up for you. Okay. Okay, so I answered some questions there about private memories. You could use private memories. I don't know. It depends on how comfortable you feel with putting up things like birth certificates and things. That should work, but I want you to be careful about that just in case. You said parents and spouse fields are not automatically populated for me. Is there an option in setting? There isn't an option. I just went to a person page and clicked FamilySearch.org. Under search records in the right-hand side, populated the spouses and the parents. So try that. Maybe you need to restart your browser or something. Sometimes some cache gets crazy. Let me turn this back on here so it's a little bit better for seeing my face. Okay, never seen them all people. And the new person pages are amazing. Parents and spouses fields are not populating in something in. So there's a couple of you that saying it isn't working. Let me try a different person. I don't know why that would make a difference. So let me go to my grandfather on my dad's on my mom's side, and search. Click Family Search on the right hand side, and when I look at it, it tells me all the stuff that's in there. And over on the left, I see that it has Harry. Oh, you're right. It doesn't populate the spouses and the father. It just shows up at the top. All right. Well, let me see. Now you have to be careful there, because if you put too much information into search, then you're probably not going to find any good records, because there's not one record that has the birth and the parents and the spouse and everything all on the same record. So I'll make a note of that. Although normally that's not the going to get you any good results, but at least you can go in and remove some of the data to try to filter down what you're looking for. I was looking in the wrong place. And I don't know if we really want it, but I'll talk to the search guys. Because I don't think it'll get you what you're looking for. Alrighty, so let me go back to some questions. This is Judith. I'm having problems setting up the option to be a helper. The combination of name, birth date, and helper number does not seem to work. With a friend of a friend, and even with my own husband, I was able to renew as a helper to my husband by using his username, but I had to send an email request for the other person. I have screen prints of the latter problem. Well, we recommend that you use there's the help others, and you have to know the username and the helper number, or the full name is first name, last name, birth date, and a helper number. But remember, that's looking for what they would have entered in. If they're a member, it would be what's in their membership record. And if they entered it in like it's a public user, or they didn't put in their membership number, then it's whatever they put into the registration. So that's where that gets a little tricky to do the full name business. I do strictly username and helper number if I need to help somebody. Or you go to the consultant planner, which that's its intent, is for you to be able to help somebody else. And yeah, you enter in information about them, and it does send an email, because you're looking into their tree, so they have to have a right to say I'm okay with that or I'm not. And that approval, I think, lasts for a year, if I remember right. That may have changed, but I think it was originally planned for a year, and then that right to keep you in their consultant planner list goes away after that. Yeah, and see that hints take them into account. Yeah, hints. See, search and hints are two different things. Search is sort of made for. It functions best with little less data than a hint, whereas a hint wants more data, and because then we match it up and look at names and dates and places and things and try to match it up. So that's the difference between the two. If you're looking for like duplicates, well, I won't talk about that. No one asked for anything about that. Okay, here's the next one, and we only have like 2 more questions. So after 2 more questions, I'm just going to sit and stare at you, I guess. Kim, this is Kim. She says, could there be a better, faster way for FamilySearch reports? I've never heard anybody tell me they were slow, but let me look here. I'm talking about reports and leader and clerk resources. What we get now are outdated before we get them. When we have a special effort or event in the ward, you can't tell if you've accomplished anything. In contrast, you can look at indexing information and get a feel of what is going on. Results can be seen in 24 hours or less. This gives you a look to who is indexing and at least total number of records. On the FamilySearch side, you only get a total number, and that can only be assessed in the reports and usually lag a month. Actually, I think they go either monthly or quarterly, actually. Probably monthly or more in reporting. Why can't that be like the indexing report, a report that can be live, so to speak? To be able to see what individuals are doing, we give you great insights as to how to help. When names are given, you have something to work with, something can be done. Isn't that the whole purpose of the one? It gives you the opportunity to reach out and ask questions, offer thanks, or see how to help. As it sits now, you can only hope for good outcomes, not knowing what has worked or not worked in wards. We can't help if we are blinded to what is really happening. This is great work. Thank you for your efforts. Yeah, it's whenever you put in those kinds of reports, there is concern that these reports will be used inappropriately. The church is a place where we all kind of get into type A kind of stuff. I don't know where I sit in that type A, type B stuff. I think I'm a little less type A. I struggle with, action item lists and ordering and all that stuff. But the concern is often because people's names get put on a list, and that list could be the list of names of people that are doing genealogy, or it could be a list of names of people who aren't doing genealogy, because you took all the names that are on the list and scratched them off the ward directory. And so now you know all the people who aren't doing family history. And the intent of family history and temple work is not, obviously you'd love to have everybody in the ward doing that because of the joy and the blessings that can come from that. But it's something that you don't want to necessarily coerce or shame or tell people that, guilt or any of that kind of stuff. So I think those kinds of concerns have made it, those kind of concerns are there. And consequently, we're not showing all that data. We're only showing the base data to help the ward understand that the number of people that are doing genealogy is going up or it's going down. So indexing is interesting because of the fast reports you can get. We actually have seen that people are doing, sometimes people do poorer stuff. So for instance, there's cases where in indexing that people compete. Our ward, you're going to see which ward in the state can index 1 million records the fastest, or 10,000 records the fastest, or something like that. And they're basing all of their winning and things like that on who got there first or who indexed the most or whatever. And that often results in people doing bad indexing because they want to hurry up and win. And we have to figure out a way. We felt, and in the indexing, it's sometimes a struggle because people do bad indexing, and then we use that indexing data, and that damages the tree or damages the value of that indexing work that person did. There's been cases where people just copy the same data over and over and over in all of the fields without even looking at the record and making those alterations. So there's always good people who do the best work, and there's others that are just in it for winning it. And we have to find that fine line. But as far as reporting to the ward and reporting to the consulting leader, the leader of that family history leader, the choice has been to just show trends and things like that. And I think the way you overcome that is you offer, you put put things in the bulletin, you send messages out to the ward potentially in some other mechanism where things are done. In our ward, we've had several messages from the bishop, especially during this COVID time when we're at home, encouraging people to do family history, letting them know some people in the ward who have those callings to help, and encourage them to go and ask for help. So I think we just have to. I think we can accomplish the same thing and get people involved in family history. We just have to go about it a slightly different way than having these detailed lists. So it's not my decision, but that was the decision that was made, and a little bit about the background of why. So any questions on that? Hence, take them into account when I'm okay. So Keith said, did you ever find out what happened to the review of indexing that used to show how well you were indexing? No, I actually don't remember where they are on that. So review of indexing. So you used to get some sort of indexing score or something like that. I've done several batches, but it's been a while since I've done it. Show how well you did. I know that there are occasions when they have things where people can thank the indexer when they use the record. Theron, what is the purpose of the sign-in with church account on the sign-in page? Shouldn't that be the same as the FamilySearch account? We are looking at other ways for people to sign in to FamilySearch. And one of those ways is going to be in the future. And you're seeing, is that out there right now? Actually, I don't know if I looked. I don't ever look. I just sign in really quick. Let me sign out. Sign in. Yeah, it has sign in with church account. So let me just get over there. Where am I? There we are. So the sign in with a church account is a new thing we've added. It's still the same account as your FamilySearch account right now, but eventually they're going to move apart, and this is some issues with performance and scaling and stuff, having them all together, and so. And then FamilySearch will probably start accepting potentially other kinds of accounts. And you'll use your church account over on churchofjesuschrist.org, and you could come over to FamilySearch and click log in with the church account, use that same account if you wish. But the FamilySearch account could over time diverge from your original church account if you change passwords in different places. So that's not happening yet, so don't worry about it, but that's signaling some future paths we're going to go down. If you happen to not have a FamilySearch account and you come over with a church account and you log in, we'll create you a FamilySearch account, and we'll use that same username and password that you use for the church account. But in the future, those passwords may not be synced, so if you do one or the other. So that's just a little vision out there in the way out, some time out before that will actually happen. But that's kind of signaling what that is. And like I said, we may look at, getting Gmail accounts or other kinds of things that wouldn't be what the church would want on their side. I think I might be related to you, maybe through Aunt Clara. I don't know. I'd have to remember where Aunt Clara is in the line. You can certainly go to Aunt Clara and click. I probably haven't contributed anything on there. Okay. So Janice says, message and ordinances cannot request ordinance status not available. Contact support. Yeah, you probably have to give me the PID on that one. Janice, if you know the PID of that one, I can go look. My guess is let's see, cannot request. There was a request button, but you'd have to kind of give me the PID so I can go look and see what it is going on there. And I'll do it right now if you'll send me the PID right here in the chat. You can do it in the chat, or you can. I don't even have my email up because I didn't want it to interfere with this. And Keith, what are you responding to? Percentage of differences? Okay, let me go look at that. LCC3WX6. Okay, LCC3. WX6. Okay, Tabitha. Okay. To look real quick. See what's going on there. Just give me a second. I'll be right back with you. Think of some more questions because we're running out. All right, let me take a look here. Okay, so there are several different reasons. I suggest you contact support. So just call support, and you can have them redirect you to somebody who can talk more about it. But there are several reasons why ordinances may not be available. Either we're not showing them, they're already done, or we're not showing them, or they're not done, and we're still not allowing you to reserve them. And some of them you probably are familiar with. For instance, I think if a person's born in the covenant and died young or died before 8, they're not needed. Those kind of ordinances, only the sealings would be needed. There's other cases like we have a agreement with the Jewish the community that only certain individuals can do that are related to these people can do those ordinances, and so others aren't available for others. We have 110-year rule kinds of things that could block these sort of things, and then there's other things like membership issues. There's something funny on the membership record, or if this was a person was a member of the church, and there's a record attached to that particular entry in the tree. And so there's several of those kinds of things that that could make it so those ordinances are not available for reservation. So I recommend, Janice, that you give a call into support tomorrow and have them send you to somebody who can talk to you about that particular one right there. So they can give you the details on why that is the way it is, and I'm sure it will be able to be taken care of. So, all right, let me. Okay. Oh, now, Jim, you probably were meant to send that to somebody else. Your message that you said. Keith, do you think the church will ever allow simultaneous vicarious ordinances similar to how baptism confirmations are done? I'm not aware of baptism confirmations being multiple and being done simultaneously. You still have to get baptized for each one and then do confirmations for each one separately. It's not like one baptism as far as I haven't been to the baptistry in a while, but I'm pretty sure you don't get to do one baptism and have it count for multiple people. So, so I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about there. I can speculate what you're talking about, that you can, that a single ordinance will be effective for multiple people. And I don't know if that would ever happen. I think there's an order to things. And so I wouldn't even be able to speculate that kind of stuff. So not my choice, not my decision. That's something way, way higher than me. So let me see if I got any more questions over here. Otherwise, we're going to start staring at people. Tess asks, any chance we could have the option to tag sources for the other information section of the person page? For example, if I add a nickname as an alternate name, it would be nice to be able to tag the source where the nickname appears. And the answer is, we're working on that right now. We haven't, we've had so many other things that were a higher priority that we haven't dealt with what we call multiple. It's been so long since I've used the term. I had it in my head the other day. Multi-valued conclusions. And when I say multi-valued, that's because you can have more than one residence, for instance, over time. Or you can have more than one name over time. That's alternate names or nicknames. You can have several different nicknames or several different alternate names or several different residences. So that's the data you're talking about. And it's a bit more complicated to attach a source to a specific residence. It's not that it's not possible. It certainly is. And the team who's doing sources has picked that up. I don't remember when they're going to be done. I think it's going to be next quarter sometime, but I don't remember. I'm just guessing there. But they have a solution for it on how it's going to work, and they'll release that when it's ready. And then you'll be able to take you'll attach the source like you do normally. It'll be on the person, and then it'll be tagged to that particular multi-valued data, multi-valued conclusion. I don't think I've seen mock-ups of how that would happen. I'm guessing you're going to have to go to the residence or something, attach the source, or do it, or maybe they'll just show you a list of all of the other information and you tag it to the things you want, kind of like what we do with source linker kind of thing. Hello from Australia. We had another Australia visitor too. So welcome. She says, talking of alternate names, when I update a name in the merge, can the original name be automatically added to alternate name, or does this already happen? Well, no, we don't. If you're merging two people and you got the name, so this is the name in the vitals section, we consider that to be their name, sort of birth name, when they were born, that was their name, or this is the earliest information we have about that name. And then you're going to merge them with somebody else who has a different name. And so we don't know if you're saying that this other person just had the wrong name in there versus you want that name to become an alternate name. So it would just, I think people would be confused with it, with the source linker attaching things. But, but I'll put it down here to see if that's something they want to try to tackle at some time. So current, let's see, merge. Other name, the name that is going to be for the person that's going to go away, be an alternate name. So this would be in merge, right? This wouldn't be in source linker. That's where I think it would be. Yes, you say I often have many different names for the same person on different sources. That's actually where a lot of it comes from, right? They put in W. Smith, and another time William Smith, another Will Smith. Certainly, that's a very common thing. So you'd like to take that name and say, and this is in the source linker, right? I'm assuming, or is this a merge? Different transcription spellings of the same original badly written name. So these are source linker things. You're putting on sources, not just necessarily merges. So merge and source linker. Seems like the source linker could help you do that. Yeah, merge or either or. Yeah, okay. I think that might be an interesting idea to look at. All right, let's see. I don't think I have any more questions. So we've got about 15 minutes. If you all have some questions, please start asking some more. Okay, so here's one. Why are marriage sources separate from all other sources? Well, we haven't done a good job finishing up the marriage thing. So the idea was that you look at the source with the data that source proves. So to look at a relationship between two people, you don't see it there. You just see it there in the person page, but you have to click to look at the relationship in order to see the sources. And the reason for that, the original intent, whether that's the right thing to do and whether we need to look at changing it is something different. But the original intent was that source documents that relationship, and the data where that relationship is described is in the relationship view, which has the husband, the wife, the events like marriage dates. It will have facts about the marriage, and it will have sources. So the intent was to have that all together so that when you're looking at the relationship, you see the data, you see the dates, and you see the sources that validate that data. It's the same principle that we have in the person page. When you look at a vital, when you look at birth, we show you the date, the place, the reason statement, the sources that are attached to birth. You don't see those sources when you're just looking at the vital data of birth. So that's the pattern we've kind of follow with all of it. Now I get we're kind of gone schizophrenic a little bit, flip floppy. There was a time when we didn't put the marriage source on the relationship. It was only attached to the person page. That was just miscommunication and two different parts of the organization doing different things, and then we went for a time where we put it on only the relationship, not on the person, and I think now we put it in both places. It's fine for me if it's in both places because it's data about that person, and it's also proof and evidence of the data that's in the relationship. So that's how it got to where it is. So that's the reason why. I'm not clear whether we should necessarily change it yet or not, but that's how we got there. Let me look here. What's next? Who else has a question? Is there a way to tell if a merge has been previously attempted if no reason is shown? Well, I'm not so sure that a reason or no reason would help in knowing whether a merge has been previously attempted. We don't really record attempts, in the change history. We record when people say done, do it. So we don't really record and display attempted merges. So I don't know where you're getting at there, Keith. What is it you're trying to understand? Let me know. Inge said, is it N-I-N-G-E, N-J or N-G or Inge? I'm not sure. I'll try my best. I hopefully not offend you. I like to see under sources all the sources for that individual. It sort of matches the lifeline, the timeline stuff. But then list of sources confirm all events. Maybe it could be in 2 places. Yeah, I think currently we're putting it in 2 places right now with the source linker. If you do it manually, you'd have to do that yourself, of course. Should birth certificates then actually be placed in the relationship sources rather than just the person? No, I don't think birth certificate, well, because they have parents. No, well, it certainly could be placed into the parent-child relationship. It could be. I think most people don't do that because they view the birth certificate as documentation of that person, but it could be in both places. I'll put that down there maybe. Birth certificates with parents in both places with a question mark on person plus the parent-child relationship. I don't think it ever hurts to have the source all over the place. So Lynn says, why does FamilySearch keep sending notifications that they have found a record, headstone, draft card, etc. of my ancestor that I have already attached? It even says attached when I open it. Well, there's multiple reasons for sending these kind of they're not really notifications, meaning someone changed something and you're watching it and you get notified. These are campaigns, and they're campaigns to sort of encourage you to come back to FamilySearch and look at things. And they do different things, Pioneer campaign, they do Headstone campaign, and it's just it's a way for us to remind you that come on back, and here's some interesting things you may have forgotten or you may want to look at again, and maybe it will encourage you to do some more things. So I think there's various reasons for sending these campaigns. Some are because we want you to have some new sources that you put on, but also it's there to just sort of remind you, hey, FamilySearch is still here, and there's still things that you need to do or could remember or learn. And I think that's what you're seeing there. We don't necessarily not send it if you don't have any headstones. I mean, all of mine, are all done there, and I get it too. But yeah, and even then, even though I know it, I go look now and then and see what else is on the person, if anything's changed and things like that. Remind myself that I need to spend some more time being in there. Okay, INGE with a G hard pronounced. Okay, Inge. There you go, Inge. Warren, on the web version, when you click on someone, up pops a summary box on them. Can we add if there are any unattached sources to that box as well? You mean like blue icon? You said blue, so I'm assuming you're saying blue icons. Hint, I don't know. I'm not sure why you would need that, because if you're looking at, I guess you only see the blue icon when you are in one of the views, like the landscape view or the descendancy view. That's where you see those icons. I don't know. That may be overload, but I'll put it down as something to think about. Blue icon on. That's called the person card. That's what we call it internally. On the person card, that's the one that pops up and shows the vitals and how many sources and how many memories and so forth. Jane says, in a story in memories, you get add tag when the document has already been tagged. You can edit the tag in photos on documents, but the edit is not available in stories. Really? I don't know if I buy that. Let me go over to my gallery. And I'm going to click on one of my pictures that I know is tagged. It's a story. Here's a story. I click on that story. And I don't want that one. I want to get one that's already tagged. Okay, here's a document that's already tagged. And let's see, your question was on photos. You can edit a tag on photos and documents, but edit is not available in stories. Okay, I think I picked an image there, not story. Okay, here's my story. Here's a story of mine. And I cannot edit the tag. Oh, yeah. So delete the tag is the only choice there. Let me go look at. You can see how often I try to edit a tag. I kind of feel like I get it right first time, Let me see here. So here's one here that says edit tag. So that's a good question. Why are stories not allowing edit tag? Good question. Good catch. All righty. Thank you for that one, Jane. Appreciate that. Carl, death certificates could help prove a relationship to parents or marriage. Yeah, that's true. That's another one. Death certificates. You could put that over on the marriage too. Hello, Jane from Ontario, Canada. Welcome. In other words, two similar people keep coming up as possible merge, but the merge process says they are different. So you say no merge. Later, the similar person comes up again. Well, yeah, there could be several people in the tree that match that person in such a way that we would offer them as a possible duplicates. But if you've done a possible duplicate, if you got a possible duplicate and you said not a match, that should not come up again unless somebody else removed the not a match. So you can go drill in and see the ones that are listed as not a match. And that person should, that same PID should not come up again once you've set not a match. Parents can just be tagged on a birth or death certificate and it becomes a memory for them too. That's right. If you tag a person on there, then it's attached to them on their memories. Can we cancel or remove the hint if it's already attached? No, not right now. I'm sorry. This is a big problem, and I apologize. The problem here is the machine. We have not taught the computers to recognize that this image of a source is not the same as this image of a source. And that's nearly impossible with pictures, because I could have the same exact page and you take two different pictures of that page and they're going to look different. It'll be torqued a little bit. It'll be, part of it be clipped off or not clipped off. And so we don't have a mechanism right now to compare the two sources, the images of the two sources, and say, they're the same source. So we don't have that capability right now in Family Tree. So I wouldn't mark it as not a match, because they go and get that data periodically and use that to help fine tune their algorithms. So we just recommend attaching it right now. We are talking about some ideas on how to help manage that, because the source is valid. It's not an invalid source. It's about that person. But if you think about how records get spread around, especially within counties, even the same a couple of counties, you have two places that have the counties are real next to each other, and they may send that record, a copy of that record, to another county, And so then when we come in and start digitizing those county records, we're not going to compare it to every record over in another county. We're just taking pictures as fast as we can, make sure that they look good, and then publicizing them. And so that results in some bad stuff, and especially marriage ones. Some of these marriage ones, there's tons of the exact same record. So we know it's a problem. We recognize it's an issue. There are a few proposals that are out right now in how to deal with that, or at least reduce that. But we haven't done enough testing yet to make sure that we're not hiding away records that are really different. So we've got just some delicate work to do there to make sure that we get it. So, okay, getting back to the alternate name, when you move the name from the left window to the right window and merge, would it be good for a question to pop up asking if the old name should be kept as? Yeah, that's certainly a way we can do that. Let's see, did I add this on here? All right. Any progress on grouping sources? Yeah, that Carl, that's the thing that we had talked about, is the ability for you to attach that source and then allow you to combine multiple sources together into a single entry. Some images may be better than other images, so you might want them all anyway so that it looks clearer, some parts more readable than other parts. So that's still on our list. We haven't. We've had some higher priority things get jumped up there that we haven't got it going, but the team's well aware of that potential feature, and hopefully we can get to it soon. Like censuses from Ancestry and FamilySearch would be nice to group the copies. Yeah. Lynn, how about adding a merge feature for sources so human eyes can group all the marriages images in as one source instead of 5? So the same potential thing when sources come over from merge. If we have that grouping thing, then we would have to, that would be a good thing to add to merge. Okay. Hey, thanks everybody. It's 8:30. Tell other people that we had this. I know I screwed up once, but since then we haven't had a lot of people coming, and I'd like to help as many as I can. So spread around and tell your friends and remind them Ron's doing these things. So don't forget him. I hope it was okay to get there from Facebook over to Google or YouTube, which Google has now. It feels like the video is working better here and the sound is better. And so I think this is a good place to have this. So thank you very much for all you do. And I'm grateful for the help you give us in making Family Tree a success, and FamilySearch and memories, and making us look at things and do better. So I appreciate that. And I want you all to take care and stay safe and have fun and be happy. Enjoy the things we get to enjoy. I'm home now, so I spend more time with the family. We play games, we laugh, we watch movies, and it's fun. And even though I'm stressed out because I spend all day on the computer in meetings, but we have fun too. So take care, and we'll see you next time. So watch out for some additional events that I'll put into Facebook. So have a good night. Or good morning, depending on where you are. Thank you. Bye-bye.